Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the stuff we did not get to during the course of the show today. A little catch up from the weekend. Betty Lou, you had a lot of time planned with people,
Yes.
which normally sends you through the roof, and you're like, I'm exhausted. Gavin and I we called each other over the weekend, and we're like, do you want to come in on Monday? I don't know, because when she comes in on Monday, she'd be tired, and it exhausts you, and you need to recharge. So how was it?
It was really good.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Good. Whew, thank the Lord.
Yeah, it was really good. I had lunch with a friend, and then I got to sleep late on Saturday, which was great. But then I went to the baby shower, and then I went to that birthday party, and then I helped with the kids on Sunday, and the toilets were overflowing back in the nursery, so we had to punt. So
did you use a kid as a plunger?
Yes. And listen, we let them. They don't have to pay tithing for the next month.
That's right. Do what you got to do.
Yeah. Call it a wash. No pun. And then went out to eat with some friends of mine after church. So
That's a lot for you.
it was a lot.
And
but
then
it was
I
really
lived.
good.
You kind of had my weekend, and I had your weekend.
Right?
I got
Yours
up.
sounded great.
Oh, it's horrible. I got up on Saturday, not even super early. We had friends in town, and they were looking to buy a house. And so we got up, had cinnamon rolls, and then talked with them for a little bit before they left, and then they were gone. And I was we ran 2 errands that day. We went up to, gone till 1 or whatever in the afternoon. And we came back, and I sat down and watched a TV show. It was like a reality show. It was one of these dumb reality shows that I'd never really watched much of before. That turned into about 10 episodes, and I literally watched it all day, then took a break for dinner, did my email from work, and then went right back to it till I went to bed.
That's awesome.
No, it's horrible.
Right? That's what I said.
You could have stopped.
No, I couldn't. That was the problem. It was cliffhangers, man. They got me. And there was things I wanted to do, I wanted to go build something, but I've been so unmotivated. I got to get all my tools out, and I got to do this and stuff like that. And
That's okay. That's your body's way of telling you need to take a rest, and
Maybe.
there's no shame in that.
Yeah. I was definitely not as productive. Thank you, Gavin. I was definitely not as productive as I would have liked to have been. Now, Gavin, Marty, because she always quizzes me, and I had remembered all of Betty's things this weekend that she was doing because she quizzed me
to you.
after. Yes, that's why. No, because you just trail off on your sentences, so I forget. I missed part of it. I can't hear. I'm getting old. What was it that you did? I forgot.
The main focal point was doing the preaching for youth group on Sunday night.
I really wish I had remembered that.
I know. Otherwise, really nothing happened.
Okay, because I said he didn't really have a lot going on. It's what I just said.
No, and it's very true.
Well, it's what he just said. So how did your preaching go for the kids? Did they heckle you?
Oh, no. I told them to, though. I was like, if I squeak up here,
Yeah.
if the voice cracks, or I'm theologically unsound, you guys can get me out of here.
Nice.
This isn't my job.
Nice.
But also, it went well. And,
good.
It was definitely tough because we do 2.5, 3-minute breaks here.
Mhm.
And when I deliver a news segment, my expectation is I'm going to talk theoretically uninterrupted for a minute, minute and a half before.
And you're not even going to make a minute with me.
And you'll come in. That's the give and take of looking you guys in the eye.
You have a safety net.
And they're like, oh, but you talk to thousands of people every day. I'm like, never seen them.
Yeah, they're not staring at
They're
me,
not real.
judging me, and cooler than me, even though they're in junior high.
You got 13-year-olds in the audience that can destroy you with a look.
Yeah.
And some of them did.
Yeah.
And so I read off of my computer for a lot of it.
How long did you speak for?
It was funny. I went in the backyard at home yesterday to time myself to see what I was going to look like up there because I'm like, well, Nick probably talks for 30 minutes.
Oof.
That's a normal.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Maybe less than that.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm looking at my thing. My document's 6 pages long. Big font, though, just so I can read.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel like I might only talk for 10 minutes. So I went out back and I practiced and I timed myself, even with my little interjections and theoretical jokes that I wanted to tell. And I clocked in at 22 minutes. I was like, okay, great.
Go.
That feels good.
Did you go way faster?
No. Oh, yeah. It was 15 or 16 last night at the actual church.
That happens,
Some of the jokes that you think might like land.
And they don't. That's when you turn on the audience, dude. That's when you have to turn on them. You have to be like, oh, what are you laughing at, Roberta? And then you just take her out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except Roberta was never laughing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that was the problem. But it was good, and I was less nervous getting up on a stage and quote unquote preaching than I was doing like announcements in front of all the adults.
Yeah, well, because the
weeks
kids, there's
ago.
a lower expectation.
Lower expectations. They're kind of just there.
And you
Some
know
of
a
them.
lot of them, too.
I do.
though.
I've seen these kids. You know, one of my big jokes was that I'm like, a lot of you I've known for 6 years, and all of you are now taller than me than you were 6 years ago.
Good joke.
Ew.
Yeah.
That was the only joke that actually landed. But
Yeah, someone's like, facts, gnome.
hey, Shoddy. But they were good. And then there was one kid who texted my wife afterwards to say that she appreciated it. So that was
Oh, nice.
meaningful,
that was very
like
sweet.
to me.
Nice.
But I don't need to do it again. I
Sure.
don't think. Oh, also, ChatGPT is awesome.
Oh,
Because
did you have ChatGPT write it?
because-
Please tell me no.
I said that
Gavin.
I had
Listen, hear him out.
I had 3, because this was on spiritual disciplines. So I had 3 spiritual disciplines that I wanted to preach on, and then
Yeah.
I had reasons for why spiritual disciplines are important.
Mhm.
And so I went to ChatGPT, and I was just like, here is this, and here's this. Can you just give me like, you know, some verses that I could?
Okay.
Can you get the ball rolling on
That's fair.
verses for me to find here?
That's like using
so
a
that
resource.
I can attach
Okay.
to the sermon.
Nothing
so
wrong with that.
No, nothing
was
wrong with
good.
that. It's like when you go, hey, I want to do a thing on spiritual lessons or whatever the thing is, and you go, write this in a 22-minute speech for me.
Well, and
Like, I hate that.
I think that you could let it get the ball rolling per se, though,
Oh, yeah.
if you wanted to. Like, hey, what are some key points for a sermon that I could touch on for this?
Right.
Do this. Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Cool.
Right.
let
No,
me-
it's a resource. Like when you use it as a resource, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it's fine.
It's
when
yeah.
you use it as your sole source of the creative that I think it's problematic.
When I talk, I'm not even talking. I'm reading off of my chat GPT.
I know you have gone too far down the Chat GPT rabbit hole. I spent some time there this weekend working on a tattoo design.
Yeah, you did.
And I'd asked Betty to do it for me, and I'd like to
Lower
see you.
back tattoo.
Yeah,
Woo!
I'd like to see you use ChatGPT to see what it would come up with, because I use Gemini. And it's free. And Gemini gave me, it's the Google one. It gave me so many options of like, it just kept cranking stuff out. But the problem was you would tell it, all right, because I was trying to do it like as a skull that looks like me with like the chin hair and the spiky do and the glasses. And I even uploaded a photo of me and was like, hey, make it like use this as a reference. And so it got a couple good starting places, but then it would do like a mustache that flared out. My mustache doesn't flare out, it curves down.
Yeah.
So I would say, hey, make the mustache curve down. And it would go, great note, I'll do that right now. And it would be the same mustache. And then I started getting nasty with it. I'm like, look, you're not listening at all. I am so sorry. Thank you for your gentle correction. Here's another version with the mustache curving down. And it's curving up again.
Still wrong.
I was so furious. It's like
it's all
15.
about your verbiage. You have to choose the right verbiage.
I couldn't be more. I even tried to shame it. I could not have been more descriptive of how to do that. Then I took a picture of somebody else's mustache curving down. Said, use this as a reference. It could not do it. I was so mad. It got it about
Pretty sure it was
70%
user
of the way
error.
there. No. So I would like you still to do one on your paid
Okay.
ChatGPT to see if it comes out better.
I bet it will.
I'll even give you the same picture I used as a resource for me, as a reference to see what it does. I ended up going to Photoshop because I looked.
Yeah. I think it looked good from the nose up.
Yeah.
But something about the mouth.
Yeah. Well,
looked a
because it's
bit-
a skull.
Well, it looked too, I don't know.
Scary?
Off.
Scully?
No, too off.
Too off. Okay. Because it's trying to put a beard on a skeleton. And the whole reason, like, I'm not like this goth person that's like, oh, I got to have skeletons.
Yeah, he is.
No, that's not me. But honestly, like, I was trying to come up with some representation of a tattoo I would want on my forearm. And I wanted that concept of dying to yourself, because that's a reminder that I could look down at my arm and, like, when I'm frustrated in traffic because someone's impeding my will, or when I'm out somewhere in public and somebody's affecting my day and things like that, to remember, die to yourself and be calmer, be kinder.
How are you going to remember that? How are you going to look on your lower back? Like when someone is
mirror.
bothering you.
Yeah,
Oh, I see. Okay.
No, so on my forearm. And so I had talked about how to represent that like graphically, because Betty Rock had a tattoo guy that was like, don't write words, like come up with a graphic of that. And so I came up with the idea of doing a skull that kind of looked like me. And then my friend Phil was like, oh, you should have it do like your hair or your beard. I'm like, that's a great idea. Then I know it's me with my glasses, and it's kind of, and I can tell the story.
But now you have more pressure to keep your hair.
I know.
And keep your beard.
I thought about that too, because like my wife goes, real quick, do we want this tattoo of a skull on you? And I said, we do. And she's like, do we want this for something that you're going to be in your 80s with? I'm like, you think I'm going to live that long? You're cute. And so I was like, I think she might be off board now. When I told her what it was, she goes, oh, that's cool. But then it looked a little too scary, I think. And so I'm trying to get it to look less. I think what I have right now is a drawing. And all I wanted was a drawing I could take to an artist and go, I couldn't explain this well enough. Here's a graphical representation. It's kind of like you, Gavin, writing your speech. You get it started, and it's the idea starter that then you fill in. And so for them, I could go, here's the idea starter. Fill it in, make it not a scary skull, but to like
it scares me.
To incorporate that idea of dying to yourself kind of thing. And so I spent some time doing that on Sunday night. I spent a lot of time doing that Sunday night, actually.
That's fun, though.
It was fun. I told Marty, my wife, when we were going home after church and lunch, she's like, what are you going to do this afternoon? And I said, I think I'm going to do some creative time. Like I wanted to work on that, and because I like that stuff. But I ended up, if you have Photoshop, because it's Adobe, it's part of their suite, you can open it up and say, generate an image, write a prompt and generate an image. And it was what I ended up working off of the most, more so than the AI in ChatGPT or Gemini and things like that. Like it was actually pretty good, but it was not good at revisions. Like it did its one thing that you did, and then when you were like, okay, well, keep the face, do this, move this, I thought it would be better. It wasn't. So AI to me, it's amazing for what it is, but it's not there yet. You know, it's still it's hit or miss. Like even when I do the songs that I do using AI, I'll have 18. Like one of my songs that I did recently, I had 18 versions of it. You know, and because you can only, so you'll get like it's 80% there, but then it's like the chorus is not good. So then you've got to redo another, because trying to tell it to redo it doesn't work well.
Sounds miserable.
So you have to really go into AI with an open mind for what the creative is going to be. If you have it locked in your head what it should be, AI is going to disappoint you 9 times out of 10. But if you're open and you're thinking about it, you know, from a tool standpoint, it actually is a really good resource. Speaking of resources, Kristen Bell, you know her. She's
like her.
Dax Shepard's
she's Anna.
wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem like they have a fun relationship.
Yeah, they're cute.
You know, they have problems like anybody else or whatever, but he uses Alcoholics Anonymous as a good resource because he struggled with addiction. And so she recently just did a post praising his commitment to recovery. She said, this is what 21 years of sobriety looks like.
Oh, nice.
And it was, lots of hugging everyone and everything, hugging life. She concluded with writing, I'm eternally grateful for you. And in true Dax Shepard style, he responded, well, that's a low blow, making a guy cry when he can't turn to booze.
Oh my gosh.
Nice. I love that. But here's my question on this. The reason I bring it up, and this is not a judgment because I know what it is like to struggle with like addiction. And I kicked mine to the curb, but I still have to be mindful of my addictive personality, and where it might not be drugs, it could run into something else where I get obsessed about something and I just go all in. Or I have to be careful about like opening that door. If I was, having a drink or having something like that, it can snowball on me. And so I keep that shut down. And I guess that's where like Alcoholics Anonymous talks about, once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. And I used to think that was really defeatist mentality, because what happens is people are like, well, I'm always an alcoholic. Of course I messed up. Of course I relapsed because I am this. I think there's a balance in that. You need to trade that identity, because if you wear that I'm an alcoholic identity, then you're gonna probably eventually fail, you know. But if you wear that as a warning flag, not as an identity of just maintain, I got to be mindful of this, but it's not who I am. Yeah. I think that's a tweak I would love to see inside of AA.
It's what I've heard someone say about, like, when it comes to sin, like it's of course bad, but don't blow it out of proportions that it's so much bigger than God.
Right.
So it's like your addiction, it doesn't need to become your identity, but you do need to be truthful or honest about it.
Well, and it's interesting because it's like theoretically a quote unquote forever battle.
Yeah.
But you are the constant victor too.
Right.
A situation like his 21 years. This is like a long time because, after 21 years, I assume in his mind, it's been that long.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't necessarily sit there and think about like, oh, like I'm not the same person that I was 21 years ago who was always losing to alcohol.
Here's where I get judgy.
Oh, why?
Okay.
No. Here's where I have a question. Okay, because I did not do Alcoholics Anonymous. Okay, so he says he's 21 years sober, but in 2020, after 16 years, he had a relapse in his sobriety. Remember they were talking about that in a podcast, and
Yes.
Dax had fallen off the wagon and had a relapse, and it wasn't like this long time thing where he went back in for a year and was struggling with it, but it wasn't like a one-time drink thing. Like, he was coming clean about having a relapse. And so I had always thought, based on the Alcoholics Anonymous, that when you have that relapse, you reset your time and it starts back over at 0. And so, but I could be totally wrong about that. If you want to Google that, like, that'd be interesting. This was something I wish we had the ability to take phone calls on the Aftercast or messages, because I'd love to hear somebody that maybe has been in that. I felt that you basically threw away all that hard work and started over, which I don't know that that's the best plan either. You know, like, here go all my chips, because you get a chip for every year of sobriety. And that could be something that could be defeating as well. So maybe it's not that. Maybe you just treat it as a relapse and you move forward from where you were. I just don't know. Are you seeing anything, Gavin?
I'm not seeing like that specific answer. I'd be curious if ChatGPT
would
say something.
Let's make ChatGPT work.
Yeah, I know. It says it views a slip or relapse not as a sign of failure, but as a common occurrence in recovery that can provide valuable lessons and opportunities for growth if addressed with honesty and return to the program's principles.
Yeah. So, I'm curious. Maybe we'll throw this out, or maybe one of our potties can comment inside of our potty group. That would be cool too, if you had any experience with that. Shepard said that he attends AA meetings twice a week because, as he put it, I'm an alcoholic, and I don't go there. Then if I don't go there, then I'll drink and I'll be a terrible dad. So he's still fighting it even all those years later, man. That's rough. But 21 years, good on him, and good for his family for sure. Now, Betty Lou has a really interesting story for us. Go ahead.
A transition.
Thank you.
That was terrible. I think I've been telling this that I've been listening to parts of the Candace Owen podcast, and she has talked a little bit about the whole Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds situation. And after hearing her remarks on the situation against Justin Baldoni, I have found myself moving more towards Justin Baldoni's team and not Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, and I hate that. I hate this because you're making me hate Ryan Reynolds, who I love.
I loved Ryan Reynolds.
I know. I never really cared about her.
Not so much anymore. I have found out too many things, and now he just looks like a bully.
It's like working at a church.
A narcissistic bully.
Yeah, one of the worst things you can do is like you find out how the sausage is made, and then you're like, oh, I don't like this.
So recently, Ryan Reynolds, he was honest in an interview with the who leaked the Deadpool test footage. So if you don't know anything about Deadpool like me, then I'll let you know. He is a character, superhero character, and Ryan Reynolds plays him in a movie like back from 2015, I think.
Yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds wanted to play a movie where it was just about Deadpool, okay? But he couldn't get the executives of the studio to give him the green light. And he had already done test footage for it and everything. And they saw it and they were like, no, we don't want to do it. Because typically superhero movies are family friendly and this one would not be.
No, Deadpool, Gavin, you could definitely speak to this as more like R-rated and the jokes are adult and he's a super flawed, weird character.
My kid can't be a kid watching that. Like
No.
my kid has to be an adult to watch that one with me someday.
So people were surprised when someone, we didn't know who, had leaked the Deadpool test footage that Ryan Reynolds had done on a set. It had gotten leaked on the internet, and once people started seeing it, they were like, this is a great idea. This movie needs to be made.
I would have loved to have been in the meetings with him and the studio execs with them going, who leaked this? Somebody is losing their job.
Right.
And he's like, I know, guys.
I
Who
know.
leaked this? And he knows the whole time
So
he did it.
within 24 hours after that footage was leaked, he got the green light. Ryan got the green light, and they're like, yeah, okay, fine. The public wants it. We'll do a Deadpool movie. So in this recent interview, Ryan admitted, he said, yes, it was me. I'm the one that released the footage. I cheated a little, but I think I was onto something that people would be interested in. So I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
Now, to me, this comes across as very arrogant, very cocky.
No, smart.
No, I agree.
I'd say smart.
Yeah,
Because
like
he
if
knew-
you
and
know
it could
something.
be-
He's 3 movies in now.
I
Yeah.
understand. I get where you're coming from, and it's good that I'm hearing your opinion. I think mine is tainted
Because of
Yeah,
the.
sure.
Candace Owens.
Yeah,
because
'cause
I know too much.
I'm a driven person.
And I think he's a bully.
And when people get in the way, I've always just gone around them and figured out how to get what I think is inherently right for the show or for whatever.
True, but this has been like 5 years since that footage was
Yeah.
leaked, and that whole time he was
never
like,
said
I don't
anything?
know, I don't know.
I'm
like,
so surprised he never owned it.
But he would kind of like beat around the bush, like on
Yeah.
his Twitter account. He would say stuff like, it's the anniversary of the footage leaking.
Yeah.
I'm on the case, #angry.
That's
And it's like,
That's
he
a weird-
knows,
I would just not
knows
say a
that
thing.
it's him. And I bet the executives knew
Oh, yeah.
that it was him. But he's an A-list actor, and they can't do anything about
Well,
it.
Yeah.
they're all. I would probably say like their pockets are a little heavier since
Sure.
there was success 3 movies in
I
now.
guess.
Oh yeah, they're happy that
Millions.
he
But
did
I
it.
just don't.
Yeah,
no.
just standing there and like looking around, knowing you did it and lying about it, but
Yeah.
knowing you're Ryan Reynolds and what are they going to do to
Well,
you?
and also
Doesn't
too,
matter.
I learned this on the Candace Owens podcast. There's one episode. There's one scene in one of the Deadpool movies where I guess his actual daughter that he has with Blake Lively,
Mm-hmm.
she plays a part, like maybe a miniature Deadpool. And she has to say this line, which I don't remember the line, but I remember it being really bad.
Mm.
And at the time, I think she was 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah, I know.
And she had to say it. And he's bragging about it in an interview. Ryan's like, she had to say that line at least 300 times. Okay. And then towards the end, she started crying because she just couldn't get it right. And Ryan says to her, it's okay if you can't do it. I'll just find someone else to do it.
Mm.
And that's exactly what
I can
she
hear
needed.
that Ryan voice
and the
saying
very
that, too.
next time she tried it,
Nailed it.
was he.
See, he knew how to handle it too.
No,
See,
that is like, she's gonna have to go to therapy.
he knew how to get that's what a
No,
director does.
Do not be on the side of a bully. He is a bully, not only to the public, the general public, but also to his children.
This is where Betty Rock's always like, why do you tell all the bad stories about you?
I think you're broken.
Yeah, I know. But I understand what this is because one time when I was doing mainstream radio, I wanted to do a bit where my daughter said something bad to make it funny coming out of the mouth
not
of a
funny.
kid. And so what I did was I gave her 2 different words to say. So neither of those words was bad. And then I edited it together to
nice.
make it into a bad word.
No, not nice.
Yeah, so I did.
Obviously not super right.
Yeah, so I didn't make her actually say it, but then when it aired, it's my wife hearing my daughter say this.
I would have been livid.
Oh, livid is
livid.
pretty accurate.
That's not great.
Yeah, livid was not. Yeah, but Marty was not
Are
happy
you
about
proud
that.
of yourself for that?
the creativity of getting the thing done
Take
without
the creativity out of it.
having my daughter say something bad.
Yeah.
The part where you
great...
have chased her down with a knife before as a joke.
Oh, the hand in
the time that you stuck her finger in a garbage disposal.
And a totally unplugged garbage disposal
and
for a photo.
And now the time that you made her say 2 words so it sounded like she was saying a bad word.
Yeah.
Wally,
that
tough. is not good fatherly.
Agreed. Agreed.
A role model.
Yeah, agreed. And
what is his name?
Spencer,
her
husband,
doing that to. They have a little girl, and he does that. That's your granddaughter, and she's crying.
Response?
Wait a minute.
My serious response is I would understand.
Wait a minute. She is looking at you. What's she going to call you, Papa?
Pop, I guess. I don't know.
Pop. Okay.
Yeah.
She's looking at you, and she's crying.
Yeah.
Crocodile tears. She's just a little thing, 3, 4, whatever years old.
Yeah.
And she's looking at you, and Spencer's like, it's for the bit.
Yeah.
Do it. And she's like, Pop.
Is it for Daddy's career? Is it going to help Daddy pay for private school or braces? Then let's figure this out, sweetheart.
Oh my God.
Your father would never put you in a place where you'd get hurt. Yeah,
you would
I don't know.
not.
I would want some information before I just said no.
Okay, now Haley is also crying and going, Daddy!
Oh, she knows better. Don't bring that to this game. Yeah. You scarred me when I was a child, and now it's come full circle.
And I will say, yes, girl,
the sins of the father.
Queen behavior.
I don't think I've scarred Haley too badly. She has a lot to be thankful for. She has a lot of fear
issues.
Do you think at all, though? Like, do you think...
Did I scar her at all? I think we all scar our kids in some degree. I mean, like, you could be the best.
We all do it at some point.
No matter what you do, you could try to be the best. Okay, you could be the kindest, most perfect parent and still scar your kid because they have unrealistic expectations of life and they're entitled or whatever. So I think, or they expect everyone to handle it. Oh, that's entitlement.
Or it's like what you do too. Like there's no like, emotional damage that my mom or dad like put on me, but like the act of my dad serving our country, which is like an awesome thing, it just resulted in moving every 2 or 3 years. And Dad is just part of that job, and they did an amazing job of helping us transition every single time. But for a while there, I'm like, oh yeah, like I didn't realize that was hard.
It still leaves an imprint.
And it leaves an imprint, but that's not what I think some millennials fall on the sword. They're like, my parents did this to me. Like I would never use that mindset when it came to that thing.
Marty, my wife, her brother always struggled with her dad being gone. He was a little older than her, and so he was gone a lot in the military.
Age and perception.
When he was old enough to know, and she was young, so she didn't really know. She was like, oh, I just get to go live with my cousins. This is fun. And he carried that. He carried that so much in his life. And was like, and I remember hearing conversations with him and his dad arguing about something, and him saying you weren't there, or whatever. But then to me, the saddest thing was he replicated that. He worked so hard to provide for his family, like this amazing life, and he was this CEO making a grip of cash, and he was always gone. He was gone every week, 5 to 6 days a week, flying somewhere, and it was like, you inevitably ended up doing what you said affected you. And so that was a hard thing. And it has affected his kids, And so I think even when we mean the best, unfortunately, we're going to leave an imprint on our kids.
But that's an interesting thing to think about. Like, I can think of a lot of the stuff that my parents provided us with, like really fun trips and a lot of cool, let's say, like toys or experiences. But at the end of the day, like, I think you're right that what I remember most is how much I saw them. And then that was, Dad coming home at a certain time every day and being immediately there. And then my mom, who took time away from a career to be an at-home mom.
Like, my dad wasn't perfect at all. I mean, my dad made mistakes, and my dad had to come say he was sorry to me at different times and things like that. My dad was not perfect. But like you, I remember the time he invested in us as kids, all of us. And he would go all in on our hobbies and, and do whatever it took to get us what we needed for that hobby and stuff. And I did the same thing with Haley. I never wanted to go to musicals, and all of a sudden I'm going to New York to see Hamilton or whatever, and loving every second of it. And then it became my thing. No. But like
He says no, but he means yes.
But I mean yes.
But like a little yes.
Yeah, but like, so I remember those really good things way more than the negative things. And I think that that's the best you can hope for as a parent, is that your good that you invest in with your kid outweighs your mistakes, you know? And so, because you're all going to have mistakes. We all have mistakes as parents. And you got to have a good batting average.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
one thing, too, is that I think kids have a harder time, like, not seeing, or they have a harder time when they do see something that is negative. I think they let that hit them pretty hard.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you can grow older and be like, yeah, my parents weren't perfect, but man, like, they were always trying their best.
Yeah, but as a kid, you don't see it.
No.
And as a kid, you use it as an excuse.
You do.
I mean, kids do that all the time. I messed up because of you, you know, and you did this to me. Yeah, but I also did a lot of great things for you. Let's not overinflate this one thing. Yeah. You know, I chased you with a knife one time,
There you
and
go.
it was a joke. You know, whatever. Anyway,
LOL.
tell it to your therapist
Oh, my gosh.
that I'm not paying for anymore. I love Eddie Rock's face right now. Oh, this is the times when we should have a video podcast. All right. Do you have any birthdays for us, Lady Rock?
I do not.
All right. Do you want to do?
Hey,
you can 30.
You can send a birthday request to when you text the word. Wow, text the word
You'll
shout
get there.
out. I know.
Keep going.
Shout out. SHOUT. Shout
one
out
word.
to 91979. Yes, one word. Shout out to 91979.
There you go. All right. I think that's going to have to do it for our Aftercast for today. And as always, thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.